The show can't start until we crack open a bottle of Revelton. Whether it's their crisp, clean vodka, the bold spice of their rye whiskey, the rich smoothness of bourbon, or the original honey whiskey that started it all, every pour is a taste of craft and passion straight from the heart of Iowa. So pour yourself a drink, settle in, and get ready to relax, laugh, and enjoy the show.
Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Late night shows in a big screen glow. Popcorn's popping, let the credits roll. Debated plots, who's wrong, who's right. Neither backs down without a fight. We'll argue till the sun comes up, but deep down we know what's up. Through every word, through every scene, you're just like me, it's in our genes. Like father, like daughter, it's written in stone. Two stubborn hearts, but we're never alone. Laughing, fighting, loving the ride. At the end of the day, we stand side by side, by side. Sunday dinner, plate stacked high, debating best bites, which sauce to try. You love the heat, I take it mild. Same old story, same old style. We'll argue till the sun comes up, but deep down we know what's up. Through every word, through every scene, you're just like me, it's in our genes. Like father, like daughter, it's written in stone. Two stubborn hearts, but we're never alone.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Like Father, Like Daughter, Christmas edition, live from the AKC Andrew Downs Marketing Studios and sponsored by our great sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company, Iowa Beef Steakhouse, and Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. I am the father, the host, Chris. I am joined by the daughter, the other host of this podcast. I got corrected last time because I said co-host, and she was like, it's just as much my podcast as yours.
I mean, you do a lot of the work. Although I was thinking, our theme song is so catchy. And I'm sad that you had AI sing it when there is literally a singer in this family.
Do you know how to write music and everything else?
No, but I can sight read, and we have a whole recording studio here, basically.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to, I can't take the audio, I can't take the voice out of the fucking AI song.
My gosh, I can't teach you. Ugh.
What? So, I just could say just play some instrumental music and you're just going to make shit up and sing it?
No, I can sing the lyrics. I've heard the song so many times.
Right, but I don't know how to now just take it without and just do the instrumental version of that music. I guess I could go back and say, take this and just take out the words.
Also, you could probably put it in like GarageBand or something, separate the music from the vocals and take the vocals out.
I don't know even what you just said. I don't have any idea what you just said.
You know, for a really smart tech savvy guy, you don't know how to do a lot.
I don't. That's okay. It's all right. So this episode has been in the works for a while. We've been one of the things that we wanted to do on this podcast was obviously tell stories about you growing up and me being a dad and family stories and whatever. But we've wanted to bring on friends of mine and friends of yours to talk about experiences or whatever else. So we've been trying to get our buddy Mark on for a while, but the guy is super busy. And then I thought, you know what? The Packers lost yesterday. He's probably got nothing else to do because my Bears kicked his ass. So let's see what Mark's doing today. And sure enough, Mark Holdefer's on the pod. So for those of you that are not watching the video version, Mark just told me that I was number one.
Within the mid-range, yes.
Yes, yeah, you bet. So, Mark, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. I know yesterday was rough for you. I know it was rough for you. It was a rough night last night.
It stung. I will give you that, But I will say that the best hands the Packers had blew it. So
yeah, I mean, dude, when you have your hands team out there and all their job is to secure an onside kick.
How often do onside kicks actually work?
Well, purely against the Packers quite a bit, because didn't you guys blow one a couple years ago in the playoffs too?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Tight end or something that jumped up and tried to catch it.
Yeah, it's always the best hands that screw it too. It's like, but you call the hands team for a reason. Just hold it.
I was watching that last night, and when we knocked Jordan Love out, I was like, "Oh fucking A, goddamn right," because Malik Willis sucks.
The hell he does.
Middle of the third quarter, I'm like, Jesus, we cannot. This guy looks like the next coming of Tom Brady. It's like ridiculous. He was running all over the place, play action. I was like, we are going to lose to this fucking backup quarterback. I cannot believe it.
My son was with me yesterday. Both of them were at my house yesterday watching the game. And my son Jake, he's kind of like me. He's like, why is it every time that Tom Brady is on screen, I just want to punch my television? Yeah. I mean, that he's so good, he's so handsome, and I hate him.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because quarterbacks that I've hated throughout the years, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, when they retire, I kind of dig them a little bit. When I was in Utah this year, I got to sit in an auditorium with Tom Brady as he talked about his career, and I was mesmerized to just listen to the guy talk football and just talk about life and how he overcame a bunch of, like, that guy had nothing handed to him.
No.
You know what I mean?
He didn't. Yeah.
So for that, it was just really cool to listen to.
My resentment to him is more of, how does he look younger now than when he started? And
millions of dollars is what that is.
Well, that too. But I mean, you look at even a Packers quarterback, which we hold on to for years, Chris.
No, I'm aware.
But they age 5 years for every year they play.
Yeah,
because
right.
It is such a scrapping freaking division. But Tom Brady, his twinkle toes, he just looks younger now than he did before. So I was like, smart. And
that he spends into it.
I shouldn't hate a guy who's that good, but And now Brett Favre, I've never met anybody personal. My experience, when he talks football, he tells some great stories. I love how he talks his stories.
Right.
His personal life is nothing I really want to brag about. And he went kind of like Aaron Rodgers did. Quit sniveling and just go.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't let my memory of you being of some crybaby, let me go. Just go.
Right.
Just take. Go.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing with me with Brett Favre. Like I hated him when he played, and then when he left, I was like, I can dig this guy, and I can appreciate what he did, and listen to him talk football, and listen to him talk stories. But then outside of that, his personal life and his choices, I'm like, I can't. The guy's an absolute scumbag. So
yeah. I mean, the money he had, there's no reason he had to go that route the way he did to secure some money for his daughter's facility.
Right.
He could have granted that money himself and had the facility named after him. So I mean, hi Caitlin.
Hi, I'm here too.
That's where Caitlin is.
Go sports ball.
Go sports.
You can reach across. I know you're in the same damn room.
Yes, we're actually right. She's actually right there.
Yeah.
Now, well, unfortunately, she's moved
now
back in.
If we want to talk about how hot Brock Purdy is, I'm all for that.
For crying
how
out
handsome
loud.
he is.
Gross.
Handsome guy.
I don't want to hear that.
I'm not going to say he's not handsome, but same token.
Right. So, Mark, one of the things we want to talk about is let's talk about how long have you and I known each other? I was trying to figure this out today because we didn't know. I knew we met.
I knew you through Jeff
and Vicky, right? And I've known Jeff since I was sophomore in college. I think sophomore or junior in college because I was coming back.
Around?
Yeah, he was my assistant manager at York Steakhouse. So, well, let's look it up.
Call that a manager, but yeah.
No, he was the assistant manager.
Jeff.
I just know he made me fucking mop the floor 3 times on a Christmas Eve, and I was ready to fucking choke him.
You know what's
that
funny?
Motherfucker! It was Christmas Eve, and I was like, dude, I do not have to mop this floor 3 fucking times.
You know what's funny is Jeff and Vicky used to run our youth group at the church on the south side. And at one of our lock-ins, Jeff taught me how to mop. He's like, "You got the same mopping skills as your dad. Let me teach you how to mop." So
that might be the case.
He's like,
Look,
you see these tiles? You go in the tiles. Like
Yeah, that's true.
What are you doing?
Jeff has always said that he's an asshole to work for, so
Oh my God, dude.
even when he was the plant manager at EMCO, and when my son Josh was maybe looking for a job, he warned him, "I'm an asshole to work for, just letting you know." Just because I know you doesn't mean I'm not gonna fucking rip you up.
Yeah, no shit.
So,
You know what? Actually, I think I take this back. They closed in 89. So
the York Steakhouse did?
York Steakhouse closed in 89. That doesn't seem right.
Well, see, I joined the Army in 84, and so I probably met you shortly after I came off of active duty.
Well, I know I didn't meet you until after I was married and we were hanging out and we had kids.
Right. So it was over when they were living off of Southeast 6 over there.
They had lived there forever too. Yeah.
Right.
Like, they've only lived in 2 houses from my know.
Yeah. So it's pretty much when I was with Practice Wife is when I met you.
Practice wife.
So,
yeah, we both had a practice wife. Yeah. Sorry.
It's fine.
She was a practice mom too.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Clock it.
Okay, yeah, let's mark that tape. We'll cut that. We'll put that out. I'm putting that out on socials.
Oh my gosh.
No. So
Just dig your hole.
let's talk about Jeff for a second. What a dick he was to work for.
Oh my Lord.
Not only did he make me mop that floor on Christmas Eve, and I had just met him, like it wasn't very long. But I remember Sunday mornings we used to have to unload truck. And I was scheduled to go unload truck, and I went in there with him and Randy, and I went in there, and the door was unlocked, and I get in, and I can't find Randy and Jeff. I have no idea. Their cars are out there, but I can't find them. I finally walk into the room where you're the table and where everything is at, and I see a pair of feet like dangling off one of the booths, and I go over there, and they are passed out drunk. In the fucking booths of York Steakhouse. And I woke them up and they were hammered. I mean, hammered, hungover. And Jeff's like, "If you just unload the whole truck and put it in the cooler, we'll finish it up and I'll clock you in for the rest of the day." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds good to me." But dude, I had to unload that truck all by myself. It sucked. It was so bad.
The memories of our youth.
Yes. I don't recommend being hammered drunk at your job. That's not the way to do it.
Especially not at mine.
No.
Right.
Dude. Right.
Yeah.
I can understand why you wouldn't want to be a raging drunk by the time you come home, though. With all them terrorists all day long.
Listen, 3:30 and I'm on the couch, so with some in my hand. So
are you a teacher, or are you a teacher's aide? Teacher? Which grade?
Pizza, kindergarten.
No shit. Oh
Yeah.
No.
Never a boring day. That's for sure.
No. But you know what though? That's the proper age for somebody who looks as young and good looking as you to be teaching kids. Because the whole hot for teacher thing.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
You should not be teaching high schoolers. So
no, I don't. I always say like I don't have thick enough skin to teach middle school and high school because they're funnier and wittier than me, and so I would be the teacher that they'd be making fun of because I'm not as clever as them. So my friend teaches middle school, and I'm like, I don't. She's so good though at it. She's so quick with it. Whenever they're like. They called her Miss. They called her. Her name's. Her last name is Putbury's, and they called her Miss Buttbury's. And she's like, "Really? I used to call myself Busy Buttbury's in high school. You think you can hurt me? And that's the best you got? Like, there's no way I would be that quick with them."
there's some Gen X teachers who, pretty much know that, there's nothing you can do to hurt me. What are you new?
Right. Yeah, right.
We came up with we're insult Navy. Our generations are insult Navy SEALs. Come on.
Yeah. I would rather get like the little hugs and the scribble pictures that they bring me. I had one kid bring me up a torn up piece of paper with just an Ariel sticker on it, and she was so excited to give it to me. She's like, I've been waiting to give this to you all weekend. I'm like, wow, thank you. like a strip of paper, just one Ariel sticker, and it was all crumpled up from her backpack. So like whatever. Or one kid who constantly will bring me envelopes of just scrap paper with his name on it, but he's so excited to give it to me. So I'll take it.
That's great. That's the way to do it though. That means you're in it for the kids, not just,
Yeah. I'm definitely not in it for the paycheck.
Right.
The breaks are a bonus. So.
Well, and she's just been kind of like that with kids her entire life. I mean, she's always been good with kids.
I've always been Mama Goose, Mother Goose.
Look how she was with her brothers. I mean, she, you have brothers with special needs. You kind of call them that. And you're still with them.
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean, look how I Mother Goosed all the kids growing up at Jeff and Vicky's house.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
I also played princess. Being one of the benefits of being the only girl is we would play this game where it was hide the princess, and they all had to come find me, and then all the guys would just play fight while I sat in the closet waiting for them to find me. So maybe they were really being smart and were like, well, we don't want to play with this girl. Let's put her in the closet.
Let's go hide and go seek. That's one of those Randy Danger. That's one of those Randy Dangerfield things. I played hide and seek and nobody come look for me.
Yeah. I was sitting in that closet for a while.
Speaking of those, so that's where Mark and I met, was at Jeff and Vicky's house, and that was like the hangout place for all of us because we all had kids around the same time. Mm-hmm. But I don't think you didn't hang. I'm not trying to bring up bad memories, but you didn't necessarily hang out as much when you were married to your first wife, right? Like that was not.
No,
because I think I met you more after you had gotten divorced.
Right. It was more of one, your freedom, two, my current wife. I say current like there's going to be another, but Diana is far more. There you go, my favorite wife. She's sleeping. But she's far more understanding about the whole, thing between me, Jeff, and Vicky.
Right.
Because when we were kids, I was, I even told Jeff thanks because it's weird. I can't say weird. It's awesome, I guess, that a guy would let the other guy who was chasing his wife when we were kids to actually still remain part of the family.
Yeah.
So, and that's an awesome thing. So I was more still friends with Vic. Because when I just settled down and realized, well, I ain't getting any farther, must stay friends with her, So, and then Jeff was like, cool. And then when I left to go to Germany, he's like, yeah, that's why that was one of those things that she was upset about because she thought her friend was going so far away.
Yeah.
So Jeff, whenever I wrote back to them, and I didn't write a lot of letters, but I wrote to them, or actually to her, but he made sure he got them because they're still, I guess, technically dating at that time.
Right.
So still high schoolers or still mid to early 20s, at that time.
What year did you graduate? 87, same as Vic?
1987. No, they graduated 86. They were a year ahead of me. Because I was one of those. Huh?
You're 2 years ahead of me because I graduated in 89.
I was one of those kids that actually got held back in first grade back when that was a thing. So mainly because you needed to pay attention in school, and actually do some work,
Right.
This isn't kindergarten point 2. This is actually first grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you went to Germany. Go ahead. Oh, finish your thought.
No, I was in first grade. See, I was we lived on the east side of Des Moines for kindergarten and first grade. Then we moved to the south side on my first grade point 2 or 2.0, whatever. So then, I've managed to somehow carry on each grade after that. So
what made you decide to go to the Army?
Well, originally I was going to do the Air Force, in all honesty, because I didn't want, my dad offered to pay for any schooling that I wanted to do, right? But if I screwed it up, he wouldn't help me after that, and I was totally confident that I could do that, So, I mean, look, I graduated my senior year with like a D plus, so which the only thing that gave me the overall D plus was I got an A in body shop, so I kind of put my average just barely above, above graduating grade.
Was Joel Samuelson
Actually, yes, he is.
I remember Joel.
Yeah, no, and
he was
Mr. Pilkington,
Scoutmaster for years.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Let me tell you a little bit of story about my Central Campus story, by the way. There was a guy across the hall. We all had to take welding first, right? For the first semester or first half a year, right? Before we can go to the body shop. And the teacher's name is Mr. Pilkington. Now, he already looked older than dirt, but, and he had this, but when you're learning how to weld, and at that time you weren't allowed radios and all that stuff. So oxyacetylene welding at first is just a slight hiss. It's quiet. And it was right after, so we go from the high school to Central Campus to do the okay. And it was right after lunch. And so of course I'm tired. So you can't fall asleep. We all witnessed what he did. Mr. Samuelson, when some poor sap fell asleep, before he even struck his little torch, right? He fell asleep and his torch kind of landed on the table, which is full of fire bricks. Acetylene settles, and so Mr. Pilkington went over to him and just lit his torch, and that made the whole table bang, just kind of bricks and everything just popped up.
Yeah.
So from that point on, I am not going to let him find me falling asleep. So I would sign out. I'd go into the restroom, and I'd sit there. Back when I was a small enough kid, I'd sit there. I would perch up on the toilet in one of the stalls, put my head across over on the toilet, all over the toilet paper, pass out. Right. Yeah, so he found me. He found me about after me a couple months doing that work, because you go to the John, you must come back within about 10 minutes. Mr. Holdefer is gone for an hour. Where's he? So fast forward 3 years, my brother Matthew, same thing. Signed out, go to the bathroom, caught him sleeping like a perch in that same stall. Right? No, fast forward 10 years, right? My dad, who had retired from the Air Guard, got a job for the public library system as the maintenance guy. Only the maintenance guy at the time. He just wanted a job because spending time at home with my mother was going to kill him. So he got a job, And one of the things he had to do was go learn how to be a Boilermaker welder, right? He went down they sent him to Central Campus, and frickin' old man Pilkington is still there.
Wow.
Okay. And I only know this because my dad, during Thanksgiving one year, was talking to me and my brother Matt, says, "So, tell me about your checking out and going to the bathroom." And we're like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, Mr. Pilkington told me about you guys doing that." And what? He says, he asked me, "Are you going to check out and go sleep on the toilet?" And my dad's like, "Why would you ask me that?" So he fills me in. And then, of course, me and my brother look at each other, not knowing each other did that. We're like, "Did you do that?" And then my dad's like, "Did you do that?"
Statutes of limitations are up, though. That's 10 years ago.
Right. And we're like, how is that man not dead? He was 900 years old to begin with. He sat behind Jesus in third grade. So yeah, but now I do have Mr. Samuelson. Still have him on Messenger, so I see what he does and stuff. He retired. He still works for the limousine company he works for. He did as a side gig. And
Majestic Limousine. Yep.
Majestic, that's it. Yeah.
That's owned by Scott Woodruff, who I went to high school with and was friends with.
Oh, no shit. Small circle. And then I think he owns his own body shop now too. So.
Yeah, Joel was Scott and I's assistant scoutmaster. Scott's dad was the scoutmaster, and so Joel was the assistant. Funny story about Joel. I'll tell you a funny story about Joel Samuelson. So Scott and I were we were getting up there. We were like maybe 16 or 17. And we went to summer camp one year, and Joel was there. Joel was the assistant. And the other assistant was this guy named John Stahowick. And they had been friends for years, and they were in that same troop like when they were younger. So they wake us up one night and they're like, hey, we have an initiation that we want to do with you. We're going to go down to the lake and we're going to go sink all the canoes at the lake.
Oh.
And so, and at the time, Dave Idol was the aquatics director at Camp Matigua for years, for as long as I could remember when I was a kid. And he was also the aquatics director at the time that Joel and John had went there. So they're like, we're going to go down to the lake. We're going to sink all the canoes. And we're like, oh, okay. So we go down there. We're walking down in the middle of the night. And basically what you do is you just push the front end of the canoe in, let it fill up with water, and just push it down the lake. And all you see is just the two little peaks of the canoe out of the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
15, 20 canoes. We did all of them. Just left them out there. We were laughing, thought it was the funniest fucking thing ever. So we go back to camp. The next morning we wake up and it's time to go to the mess hall for breakfast. And Joel and John are like, we'll see you guys later. We don't really feel good. We don't want to go. Okay, so we go with the rest of the troop and the scoutmaster, and we're in there and we're eating breakfast. And sure enough, fucking Dave Idol walks in that mess hall and walks right over to our table and looks at me and Scott and says, "We're Samuelson and Stahowicat." And we were like, they're sick back at the campsite. He's like, oh, that's a damn shame. You boys better eat up because you got fucking canoes to unsink. And we're like, what? And he's like, what do you think? I'm stupid? I know who does that. He's like, they did it when they were a kid. That's why I came here looking for them. And I seen you guys hanging out with them all week. So get your asses down to the lake.
Guilty by association.
We go down there and we had to unsink every one of those motherfuckers. We got back to the campsite and those guys are laughing. They set the whole thing up. They knew that we would get blamed. I was like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, that was not a fun day. That was unsinking canoes, by the way, is a hell of a lot harder than sinking them.
Oh, I can only imagine. You got to pull them upright, and then freaking, yeah.
Dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. So that's my Joel Samuelson story.
Yeah, well, Samuelson was our teacher's assistant on our first year body shop class.
Yeah.
So Mr. Carmen, who was Mr. Carmen was our body shop teacher, and he was the old school guy. No power tools. Everything's done by hand, and we didn't even knew there were power tools even there, and he was a Mustang enthusiast.
Yeah.
And Mr. Carmen was, dude, you can bring in a Mustang that was run over by a semi-tractor truck and it's not totaled according to him. There's a way to bring that thing back to life, and yes, that'd be the hanger queen trying to fix one up. And then the next year, or in the middle of that summer, Mr. Carmen died. Joel got the job.
Yeah.
And then found a set of keys and started opening up cupboards. And it was like hearing angels sing. Air tools, power tools, all these brand new spray guns that we didn't know existed. Like, what in the world? And even he's like, even I didn't know these things were here.
I remember when he got that job. Because he was assistant with us. I don't remember what he was doing before, but that was, he got into that job. The other Joel Samuelson story, and I'll bring Caitlin in on this. Let's ask Caitlin if she knows what this is. Caitlin, do you have any idea what this is right here?
Nope.
You have no idea what that is?
Nope.
So in old cars, to turn your high beams on and off, you would hit that button down below there, right? Well, in a 1986 Monte Carlo, they used to have something like that, but it would change the radio stations. Mark, did you ever seen a car like that before?
No, but I do remember that there were cars that actually you started with that very same kind of a button. Yeah, you laid on it, and that's how it started. Yeah. So a lot of Army Jeeps were that way. Yeah. The original Jeeps before
there would be a button, and you would hit that, and it would automatically scan to the next radio station.
That's a new one on me on that one.
It was one of the first hands-free, and it was in his 86 Monte Carlo. That he did at the school.
Yeah, the maroon one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that one. So, anyways, we're coming back from a trip in Colorado with Scouts, and he had this kid in the front seat convinced that his radio was voice controlled. he for the entire state of Nebraska, he had this kid convinced that every time he'd say change station, that the radio would change on its own. And then I would do it. And then he would hit that button. And then when that kid would say something, he wouldn't hit the button. And we pulled over and got gas one time. And that kid is screaming at the radio in the car. He cannot figure out why it won't fucking work for him. It was, I mean, you got to do something to entertain yourself on a car ride through Nebraska anyways.
Before phones.
Before phones. Yeah. God, that was so funny. So.
Yeah, I still call him Puppy because when he was he was our assistant, he didn't look much older than us, you know. So
I don't think that he is.
We all call him Puppy,
think that,
you know.
Yeah.
But to this day, he's in his 60s. He's retired, for crying out loud. And you know, I still call him if I see him on Messenger, I'll say, "What's up, Puppy?" You know. So he's like, "You're in your freaking 60s."
I've not talked to him in probably several years. He sent me a message one time about Tyler, and it didn't go over very well. And I stopped talking to him. So this was several years ago when Tyler was kind of out on his own and wasn't making the best choices. And, you know, it was prior to, it might've been right around the time that, it was after he graduated from high school and he was back in town. And I think he was doing at that point he was doing some panhandling and stuff down at Hy-Vee and things like that, you know, and I wasn't exactly endorsing it, but he also, he also wouldn't fucking listen to me. And I just remember Joel sending me kind of a nasty message, just to be like, you need to do something about that. And you need to step up and do your job or something like that. And I think I may have told him to mind his own fucking business. So,
yeah, there's still old school thought process about that. When you witnessed that a couple weeks back when my friends started talking about painting fingernails and crap, you know, and, you know, and even David apologized to me. He said he wasn't really being, we all of you admit, even I still throw out a racist joke once in a while because they're just freaking funny, you know. So, but sometimes you just got to remember they didn't know, so they didn't know how to read the room right, you know. So, you know, Dave apologized, and of course Dave is still kind of, he's my cousin. Mike is an Army friend, you know. Yeah. So even Mike has kind of left the room because Dave gets kind of assholeish when it comes to his Bears. You know, so my Bears, no matter the win, Dave is like, my Bears suck, blah, blah, blah. So,
not me, man. I'm riding this fucking high the entire fucking season.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
High the entire fucking season. 100%. Now, as far as that goes, like, that's just, at this point, I'm just like, if I don't know somebody and I'm done giving two fucks anymore. Like, I'm just not tolerating people's fucking horse shit. So, and that didn't have anything to do with Joel. Like, I mean, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just like, I ain't got time for this. So, which is kind of the same.
Even I still have a hard time remembering which gender to call them, you know. So I'm like, her, you know. So I forget sometimes, you know.
There are times I'll tell stories about Tyler, and when he was Taylor, I'll use the word Taylor, and I'll use she, and Tyler is kind enough to go, look, Dad, I get it. Like, you're not doing it on purpose, right? You're not misgendering me on purpose. Right. So it's just muscle memory and
as far as the beard goes, I mean, have you seen his mother? I mean, come on, that's going to be natural anyway, you know. So, oh shit, I forget Caitlin's mom too. You know?
Yeah, no, I pluck. I'm constantly plucking hairs because I'm afraid. I've never pulled a razor to my face though. Out of the three out of the one out of the four of us who have never pulled a razor on my face.
I mean, look at your dad. You look a pretty good girly girl, you know, and then until he shaved all that crap. Now look at him.
I know, right? It's getting full. I know.
It is getting full.
I wish you haven't just fermented your beer in a while. Did you know my dad just fermented his beer?
Yeah, because Mark called me out when we were here. We were in the kitchen at our fucking at our fucking fantasy draft, and he's like staring at my face, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Did you color your beard?" Yeah. Oh my god!
I forgot about that.
Fuck you. My wife likes it. So,
except when you do too dark of a color.
Yeah, that first time I did it, I picked the wrong color, and it looked like a movie villain. It was bad. It was bad. It was like and what was sad was I was working from home every day, and I had this job that I had to go every couple weeks and meet everybody at this co-working place. And dude, it was so bad that like you could see the line and like where I had stopped. It was black and then like gray here. There was a clear line, and it's a good thing I had the glasses on. And I was like, they're going to know it's fucking fake. Like, it's not good.
I
look like an old movie villain.
I thought about bleaching this thing just all white. I think that'd be kind of cool. You know?
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's why this is the way it is. So when I went through and I did like the clothing transformation for Julia, I went to go get a haircut at my barbershop, at the Coming Barbershop, Jennifer at the Coming Barbershop. And she's like, literally, she goes, have you ever thought about growing your hair out? And I said, Jennifer, you see me every 3 weeks. You know I don't have any hair. And she's like, no, I think that you're doing this transformation, why don't we do something different with your hair and beard? So I'm like, well, all right, what do you think? She goes, as long as you grow it out for a while, I think there's some cool stuff that we can do. And I was like, okay. So I've grown it out since early November. I've not shaved. I've not had my beard other than just kind of cleaned up. And I've not gotten a haircut since like early November. So,
No, because you got one right before
Thanksgiving. So this is what I'm doing is I'm growing my hair out, and we're gonna do something. I have no fucking idea what we're gonna do. So, and
I think we
saw
should
her
do
last
the good
week.
old fashioned Melvin comb over.
I'm not doing the Melvin comb over.
Dude, I'm thinking about going bald myself, because even when I comb my hair back, you know, it's getting thin enough now to where it looks like the bad comb over that looks like this. You know, you start to see too much of my skull even when I comb my back.
Yeah, that's the Melvin comb over. I'm not doing that.
So, which is funny. I'm the oldest of my brothers, and they lost their hairs early, right? And my mom and dad used to do the old wives' tale. You know, if you wear a bald hat all the time, you're gonna go bald. Blah blah blah. You know, and like I'm the only one that still has hair out of all of us. You know,
I wear my hat all the time. If I'm not working, I have a hat on. Right. So,
she also use that myth too, ears, Caitlin, that if you keep playing with that, you're going to go blind, you know. And I'm like, why am I the only one not wearing glasses? You know? Y'all should be doing it more often. And these are just cheaters, you know. So just saying.
I tried to do cheater. I can't do them. I got full transition glasses. I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah, and you know how I know you're old? You have to lift your glasses when you look at your phone.
Who, me?
Yes.
Not now. Not with these transitions.
No, I watched you do it the other day when you were reading something. You lifted your glasses up to read it, or you do this.
Yeah, I do that. I have done that. Stacy fucking.
Well, see, that's not necessarily old, but because my wife has to do that because that's just how her vision is.
Yeah.
So when she's reading something close, she has to take her glasses off to read. But if she's watching, when I'm not here, I said there's a TV in the living room. She'll sit on the couch and watch her tablet or her phone, instead of turning the TV on.
That's me.
Because she don't need to wear glasses.
I came down the other night and she's on the couch and she's got the fucking phone this big. And I was like, there's a 65-inch TV right there. Turn the fucking TV on. What are you doing?
Well,
there's 3 TVs down here. Pick one.
Here's my thing. I usually pay attention better if I watch it on my phone, because if I turn something on the TV, then I'm going to play on my phone. So if it's something I watch
it on TV, because I want to play on my phone.
If I really want to get invested in something, I want to watch it on my phone. And sometimes, like if I'm watching YouTube, I notice that when I watch the YouTube app on the TV, there's a lot longer and a lot more ads on the YouTube app on your TV versus on your phone.
Whatever.
I've figured out the system.
Hang on.
We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. So let's take a break, and then when we come back, Caitlin's got some questions for you, Mark. So
okay.
All right. Let's get a word from our sponsors, Revelton Distilling Company, Iowa Beef Steakhouse, and Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. And we'll be right back.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com.
In the heart of Des Moines, one name has stood above the rest: Iowa Beef Steakhouse. Step inside, and you enter a place where tradition still matters, where the atmosphere feels familiar, warm, and unmistakably Iowa. Service isn't rushed. It's personal, attentive, and rooted in genuine care. And before the main event, the freshest start in the city, our signature salad bar, crafted every single day. Then comes the reason people have returned for generations: Iowa beef, hand-seasoned with pride. Guided by flame, forged by heat. This is where flavor becomes legend. Served with the same care it was crafted with, a meal meant to be remembered. And whether the night calls for bold, smooth, or something in between, our bar offers a selection as rich as our history, including the old-fashioned we've become known for: balanced, timeless, unforgettable. And long after the fire cools, the glow of this place stays with you. Iowa Beef Steakhouse, 1201 East Euclid Avenue, Des Moines, Iowa, where Iowa comes for steak, done right.
Whether you're buying, selling, or refinancing your home, or if it's simply time to renovate the one you're already living in, you need an experienced mortgage professional to help you analyze your financing options and to make sure the closing goes smoothly. And that's exactly what you get when you call Kyle Lehman at Wintrust Mortgage. Kyle's experience and expertise, coupled with Wintrust's rates and programs, ensures you'll get the mortgage that's right for you. You may even qualify for down payment assistance. Before you reach out to a realtor, call Kyle and get pre-qualified, empowering you to start shopping for the home of your dreams. Call Kyle at 515-473-0546. Kyle Lehman, Wintrust Mortgage, 515-473-0546.
All right, and we're back with my friend Mark Holdefer. We like the dog better, Mark. This is a much better guest.
All right. That was Boomer.
All right, Caitlin's got some questions for you about parenting and whatever else and impressions that you had of her. So,
yeah, like I mean, you got to see all us kids running around. What do you remember about me when all us kids when we all got together?
Well, the princess thing wasn't too awful wrong. I mean, there was a truthfully, for the majority of the time, most of the clan's children got along really well. You know, between my kids and Jeff and Vicky's and you guys. I mean, there was not really a lot of arguing, fighting, or anything. In all honesty, you were all pretty darn good kids. Nobody really scheming. Even Justin, the smart dumb kid, that even he didn't. You guys weren't really too much of an issue. You were better kids than even I could ever be. So I couldn't really, and even Taylor, whatever she was back then, so even she was quiet and adorable. So that was. That wasn't an issue in all honesty. So
yeah, we were pretty lucky. Who
was the most trouble out of all of us kids? Let's see.
I know exactly who it was.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Mark says the same person.
No, it wasn't any of my kids because they were always quiet because being I didn't bring my kids around a lot.
Yeah.
So because they're always at their mom. At the time that I would go over to Jeff and Vicky's, they're at their moms.
Mm-hmm.
So, but. You were pretty rambunctious, but you weren't the issue. I don't think
I was never the issue.
Well, I don't want to use the word issue because I don't want any of them to think that they were bad kids.
Well, I guess the
one that got in trouble the most has got to be Joshua.
So no,
Joshua is the one that got in trouble the most.
Yeah.
All I know, one of the moments I remember was he was fairly young, and I think he had pooped in his pants. And I just remember Brian picking him up and just screaming at him. And I was like, well, if you didn't poop, you just scared the shit out of him right now. I said, Jesus Christ.
Isn't there a time that you dropped off I was probably not me, but Tyler when he was young and Justin
Are you talking about when they were running naked in the hallway?
When they wanted yeah, and Jeff's mom, I think, was watching, or maybe it was Vicky's mom. One of the grandmas was watching because I think you and Jeff and Vicky went out and they were taking a shower.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
You don't remember that story?
No.
I'm pretty sure you told me this story where they were really, really young and they thought that taking a shower meant that they were making love.
No, what happened was
well, they're not really.
No,
they just not taking a shower. They were taking turns.
What happened was
it was clean.
Me and Jeff and Brian were if you remember Jeff and Vicky's house, they had that galley kitchen and then they had that dining room. We were sitting at the dining room table, and the joke always was with the three older kids was which one of the boys is going to marry Taylor. That was always the joke. And they thought it was funny that, one of these boys is going to have their way with your daughter and blah, 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 blah. Innocently, we were just joking. Anyways, they were all out funny. And then all of a sudden I see Brian run past the dining room and he's buck naked running down the hallway. And then there goes Justin buck naked running after him. And Taylor comes in from the other room. She's like eating a popsicle or something. And I just look at Jeff and Brian and I go, maybe I don't have anything to worry about. And Brian's like, that's not funny. Oh, it's pretty fucking funny. I said, it's just as funny as how much as you guys have said that they're going to have their way with her. So
right.
maybe I'm, I don't know. Turns out I didn't have anything to worry about because Tyler was gay. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I probably cried the most.
Oh, 100%.
That was probably the most emotional one.
100%.
They always left me out though because they played Halo and they wouldn't let me play Halo because I was a girl. But they let Tyler play Halo. I think they knew. I think they just into it, Maybe. Well, Tyler was also a lot better at video games than me, but that's because no one ever let me play.
Right.
I got to watch a lot of Halo.
My youngest brother's gay, so he and I kind of knew it all along, because he always had the girly handwriting. He always had, even for the longest time before his voice came down a drop, he always had the girly. Whatever my friends would call, and my brother would answer, "Yeah, Mark was here," and they go, "Was that your sister?" It's like, no. And then fast forward a bunch of years, when me and practice wife separate, I move into my brother Jeff and down in Des Moines. Right?
I'm so used to that from now on.
And so I move in with him, and he has this big house off of 31st Street, and so I just go choose a room upstairs, and I'm going through this old dresser, and I'm just going to put my stuff in there, and I come across this Playgirl magazine, and I'm like, I'm secure enough. I can look through this, and I'm like, dang, I got
insecure awful fast.
No, and I'm like, whoa, and then I could turn to one page and I went, "Dah!" And my brother's like, "Oh crap, I forgot about that magazine upstairs." He goes, "We're upstairs," right? And I hold out this image. "What is wrong with this, Jeff?" And he's like, and it's a picture of a guy like a lumberjack with an axe in his one hand and his thing in the other. And he goes, "I see nothing wrong with that. That is not a natural pose, Jeff. No man is going to be naked with an axe in his freaking hand. If I find a guy working on his car naked, I'm going to punch you, So,
oh my God.
So yeah, I've accepted. My grandma was about the hardest one to accept the gayness part of him. My dad, and then even my other brother Matt, he only has one son, and he's not androgynous. He's asexual, I think. Yeah. As in, he don't care.
Right.
It's not his thing. So sadly, we all had to come to the conclusion that my dad's last name ends with my boys if they ever get a girlfriend, so stop it. So
my dad was pretty progressive. My dad was always supportive of that. He just was very east side uneducated about it. So his way of being supportive would be, I always remember he would say, they could carry coal in their mouth for all I care. That would be his
Yeah.
way of saying, they can do whatever they want. It's not harming anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not okay. We grew up in an era though, making fun of them. That was the thing,
Yeah, and I did.
Then we eventually ate. They're still great jokes. I don't care, But and even Jeff, my brother Jeff, says, "Look, jokes are fun as long as they're not mean."
Yeah,
right.
Stereotypical jokes is one thing,
right?
But if they're being mean or vicious, then he doesn't
hateful,
like
or hateful, right. or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I stand with like people that don't see eye to eye with me about things.
I mean, come on, right? You know how many blonde jokes I know? I mean, Jesus,
yes.
So
I'm okay if people. I can be
fat jokes and all.
Yeah,
everything.
I can be friends with people, and I can have a relationship with people that may not necessarily understand it or agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you cross a line that they don't belong,
right?
And they don't, and you,
and that's where
they're evil. That's when I'm like, okay, we're done.
That's where I really started slowing down, hanging with Brian. His thought process on that,
Right.
So I don't want to share that with Caitlin if you've never shared it with her, but
she knows.
I know everything.
She knows.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm his best friend.
Right.
So he tells me everything.
Right.
They need no secrets. I know everything about everyone.
Right.
And nobody's perfect, right? Like but it's like you guys are saying, just to reiterate, it's about what is the intention in your heart? What is
right.
To have hate and to think they're evil or to think they're non-human or that the things happening in their lives or in anyone's, whether we're talking about race, gender, sexuality, whatever it is, they're still people, and
right.
Their rights matter, their lives matter. You don't have to agree with it. You don't even have to understand it, because there are a lot of things that I still don't understand, but it also doesn't mean that I think that this person should have a lower quality of life and should have this terrible life because this is because of how they were born or the choices they make or whatever, especially when their intention. And I have my own issues with Tyler that have nothing to do with his gender, with his sexuality.
Those are all personal.
But I also know that Tyler has a lot of love. And that Tyler isn't also trying to, it's not, there have been people in the past who have claimed that Tyler does it for attention or that Tyler does it to make himself feel special, when that's not the case. Like it's, so that's where my issues,
I don't believe that
like that,
I don't believe they should be discriminated against for anything. I mean, they shouldn't get a job because if anybody should get a job because of the minority status, but they shouldn't lose one either.
Right.
Correct.
They shouldn't be kicked out of the military. They shouldn't be, because I was that way too. I didn't want to be in a foxhole with somebody who's gay, who's going to love me up. But same token, once I matured, when it came to men or gays or women or anything like that, I'm like, you know what? If you can shoot better than me, I'm fine.
Right.
So that's the thing. If you can shoot somebody as good or better than me, have at it. So you can defend my country just like I can. So
I think I have a fundamental problem with people that villainize it and villainize them as evil people. That's where I cross the line. And I will lose friendships and family over it. Like
I will admit I am startled, because to me this is where I fall into that word category, because when I go to a drive-through and that window opens up and somebody pops out that looked like they fell into a tackle box, that's kind of scary to me. And that's where even I go, what's wrong with you when you can tattoo your face and pierce it up, put the gauges in? So
I think
that's where I have a break problem.
I think that's different though than saying that they don't belong. Right? Like that's 100% different.
I don't think I'd still put them. If I was a manager, I wouldn't put them in a window, because
But if they're really good at it, and you know what I mean. I mean that's you
got to learn how to. Even ugly people deserve love. So eventually, So
everyone is going to have an opinion about other people, whether they're white, black, straight. gay, bi, transsexual, somebody's going to have an opinion about it.
So far, you just
But
called your
the
dad out on all that.
God knows I have opinions.
I don't know. The motto I keep is, if you don't got anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Or like, don't like, why you got to spread the hate? Like you said, there's difference in having jokes, having a little bit of fun, especially if you can take it right back, right? Like,
somebody calls me fat, and I'm like, that's not exactly the insult you think.
I relate it to this. I think what bothers me is that people are like, well, I don't want it to be forced down my throat, and so forth and so forth. Nobody's forcing anything down your throat.
Mm-hmm.
There was something the other day that popped up about religion, and this guy had said, oh, I know what it was. Scott Casper, who does takedown radio on the radio, he had posted something about somebody. There was a Muslim lady that the GIF. It was one of those photos that had something written on it, which is total bullshit. You never know if it was actually said or what happened. That she wanted the state to make a bathroom special just so for a Muslim woman and whatever else. And the guy was like, no government should ever be involved in pushing somebody's religion and blah, blah, blah. And it was clearly directed towards Muslim. And if you don't like that, you can go back to your own country. And I go, wow, you know what? We agree. The government shouldn't push any religion, including Christian nationalism. Thank you very much. And that's coming from a practicing Catholic who believes in God. I should be able to believe in God and do whatever I want. I shouldn't make Mark believe in the same God as I do. So you're right. The government should be in no. So it's the same thing with transgender and whatever. I'm not asking you to live their lifestyle. Nobody's forcing this lifestyle on you. I'm just asking you to not be a prick and let them live their life.
Well, and it's easy. You see it on social media. Hide the post. If you don't like seeing that, it's no different. I don't love seeing a lot of negativity in my feed. So if it's something that's really going to bother me or affect me, I'm not going to go in and comment and give that engagement, right? Like I'm not going to go in and call this person all these names in this book. I'm going to hide the content. I'm going to say, don't show me stuff like this and move on with my life and just scroll on, because by feeding into and engaging
the algorithm,
the algorithm's just going to keep giving it to me, whereas I can try to change my algorithm and change what I interact with and who I interact with, whether I, if I don't agree with it.
Whereas I prefer to poke the bear a lot.
Yes, you do.
You both to poke the bear, and that's how you do it. I don't like
to poke the bear. I just like to point out the hypocrisies to people.
There you go.
That's my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told this before, and I've said this many times, that I, as an atheist, am sometimes a better Christian than Christians are.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
Mark, 100%.
Being kind and being nice. It's it. Be kind to others.
Those Turning Point USA fuckers. Fuck those guys.
And this comes off as a joke. This may come off as a joke, but I said, I don't even need the Bible. You know who I got? I had Bill and Ted. All I had is what they said.
Be excellent to each other. 100%.
That's all you need.
Right.
So you don't need 10 commandments for that. That's all you need. Be excellent to each other. So
and, for me, I was talking to Stacy in the car on the way back today. I struggle with I've struggled a lot lately with believing every single thing that the church tells me and buying all of that stuff or whatever. But then I do know for a fact that prayers are answered. I believe that because I survived cancer and I asked for it. And Caitlin, you may not remember this, but when we went to that Lauren, it happened today because we were listening to music and Lauren Daigle's song came on, and it was the song Rescue. And I told Stacy, I said, do you know how sometimes like music will invoke emotions and memories for you? And she's like, yeah. And I said, I remember I'd probably heard that song 100 times before, but we were at that concert and it was a couple weeks after Walker had left you and you were really struggling. And I know that you were questioning, is something ever going to happen for me? And I'm in a dark place. And the words to that song were things like, I will find you in the darkness and I will rescue you. And I was just like, I just remember when that song played thinking, I need somebody to go to the darkness and find her and tell her that she's worth it and she'll be okay. and I even get emotional now talking about it. To me, that is what faith is like, right? Like not some God that's sitting up there that if you have to live by these 10 commandments or you're not going to make heaven, like that's all well and good, but things like that where I needed somebody to help pull my kid out of an abyss because I knew that she needed help. And, 2 months later, you meet somebody else and you start to see what your life was like and how much better you are now. Those are the things that make me believe in that stuff, right? Not some silly rule that I have to follow like, it's a mortal sin if I don't go to mass on Sunday. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think that Jesus gives a shit whether or not I went to mass on Sunday.
Church
He
is
cares whether or not I'm treating people in the right way with love and care.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you have to be a member of a religion. My dad was a smart man. My dad would say all the time, more evil has been perpetuated in this world in the word of religion than anything else.
Yep.
Faith and believing in God are completely different than an organized religion.
Right.
And the people that want to hijack organized religion and Jesus' teachings for their own punishment, like these turning point fucks and these Christian nationalism and Pete Hegseth, they're all fucking nut jobs.
Well, none of them would ever post. And this is where I can swear to God, my Sunday school teacher when I was a kid had to have gone home and just gotten fucking drunk. Because all the questions that I had that just didn't make sense. The story of the Bible just didn't. I mean, I get it, but I don't. So yeah,
dude.
And if you look back at it, here's my throw. God is a dick. Jesus was not. Jesus was follow me, be kind, be nice. God was bow, yield, kneel. Nobody. Well, not kneel before Zod. I was about to go that route, but so you won't find anybody from Turning Point or any of those people posting any words from Jesus because he was kind, nice, and considerate.
Right.
Yeah. God, on the other hand, always had a vengeful part about him.
The Old Testament's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Like I'm
not a big Old Testament guy.
Really like the New Testament.
Right.
Right.
Here, I saw this on. I almost sent this to you today, Mark. I was scrolling through TikTok, and this guy said something about I believe in God and I believe in Jesus, but I'm really struggling with the fact that all his disciples' names were Simon, Peter, Andrew, James, John, and Philip, and Matthew, and none of them were Muslim or Arab names. And I was like,
I never looked at that. Yeah, because
holy shit, that's right. Right?
He's not going to be a white man, not where he was born and raised. So yeah,
crazy.
Should have been more Jewish names and Muslim names. Yeah.
I was like, they're just walking around. That guy's name was John.
Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Yeah, from
Joseph
over there.
was his dad's name. Okay,
so yeah,
whatever.
There were just so many questions that I'd asked my Sunday school teacher that she's like, "Can't you just go home?"
Right.
Well, it's funny. I was just talking to Nick yesterday.
What happened to Jesus when he floated off another cloud? Didn't he witness the vacuum of outer space and die again?
Right.
Oh my God.
I was talking to Nick just yesterday, and we were listening to this podcast about Jeffrey Epstein, and they talked about the King James version of the Bible, and he's like, you know what that is? And I was like, no. He's like, it's because King James didn't like some of the books in the Bible, so he cut them out. And I was like, do we have the originals? What did he cut out? Why did he do that? What's going on? What else did he change?
Okay, so I looked this so AI is a wonderful thing. The apostles don't have English names. They have Angela. What's that word, Caitlin? Right there. Angelicized versions of their original Hebrew, Arabic, or Greek names, adapted over centuries as the Bible is translated from its original languages, making names like Johann become John, and Shem O'Keefe became Peter. Shem O'Keefe, I like that name way better.
I would have been way more engaged.
Right?
Yeah. Kemosabe.
Wiz Khalifa. That's
Wiz Khalifa.
All right, we got to get wrapped up here. Mark, I'll let you give a final speak here about what's the one parent piece of advice that you can give to people?
I told you this before. When you having issues with Tyler. Tough love sometimes, as a parent, is good parenting, but sometimes it will come back and bite me in the ass. I mean, it bit me because I lost my stepson. Because many times he wanted to come stay with me. He was still coming out of jail, coming out of prison. But don't ever stop doing the tough love because they need it. And I was a victim of it bit me in the ass, but never stop. Just because you got to do it hard doesn't mean you don't love them. My mom always said, there's a reason you have an ass, for sitting on and for spanking. So, and trust me, I think I got just as much as both. And well deserved. But gentle parenting comes in handy. But I have a daughter here who's living with us now, and she's the epitome of, I'm going to ask you twice and then you're getting it. But she goes, it's not the physical part. It's please don't stop it. So, but when it comes to parenting, none of us are perfect, but as long as you're still upright and breathing and not convicts, doing a good job. And even then, even if you got 5 kids, one of them's going to be crazy, right. So, but
you can't split your time evenly. That's for sure between 5 kids.
So no, but, and as far as that, being a friend with your kids, like you got right now, as adults, that's fine. As a parent, be friendly, but if you're friends with the kids, that makes it hard to discipline them. So
yeah.
But when you're a grown up, now look at you and Kaylin. How good are you now?
Now, children, become your parents' best friends because it's hard for them to discipline you.
That's all Kaylin heard right now. Yeah.
Well, I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm kidding.
The reality is also they try to say, well, be kind to your kids because they're going to choose your nursing home.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, that's probably
you want a nice one.
That's why my mom ended up in Madrid. So she always knew me. Just kidding. Dead mom joke. I get a pass.
Dead mom.
I have one too. I had one too. I did one. I did one to one of my railroad friends one time. I said, "Where have you been with your mom?" And I thought, "Ew, you're not." She died.
Some guy.
Gross. It's like
some guy on Twitter today.
Radio, and this was other for the radio silence. And he's like,
some guy on Twitter today. I posted about Rocco Beck had put in for the transfer, and I said, "Loyal sons, and go be great. I support you." And the guy's like, "How many drugs did you have to take to write loyal on a guy that's leaving your school?" And I said, "Not quite as many drugs as I needed to have sex with your mom." So
your mom jokes never get old.
Every once in a while, I have a gem. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we're gonna get out of here. We gotta wrap up. We're gonna go drinking because apparently the teachers don't have school tomorrow, so it's a party night.
So how many people are watching this? Is there a thing on here?
There is 97 people watching right now, and then we will download. Yeah. Then we will download the audio and post the audio, and we'll cut some clips. I'm pretty sure we're gonna post the clip about Tracy's facial hair. So, because any chance I get it, I know that bitch is still watching. So,
this is her mother.
Mark, were you not listening earlier when I said I got 0 fucks to give anymore?
Listen,
I just don't care.
I'm just not as public about it.
That's right. I'm 100%. All right, we're out of here. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Of Like Father, Like Daughter. Mark, thank you so much.
So much, Mark.
I appreciate it. I see. Star Wars sucks. Yeah, because Star Trek's so fucking great. It's another. I don't even know why we're friends. We hate everything about each other. Check out the rest of our content on the Three Beards Media Network, and we are.
Like father, like daughter, we both know it's true. No one gets me quite like you. We clash, we bond, we love in the right, but in the end we're side by side. So